Have you ever tried to explain how you feel, but to the other person it just sounded like blame? And instead of creating connection, it just caused an argument? That's where I statements come in. They're a simple shift in language that completely change how people listen and respond to you. And I can already hear you behind your screen. Well, doesn't it just matter telling my person how I feel, not how I tell them? To which I would say, yes, it very much does. Regular communication in those regards usually starts with, you never do X, or you always do X. You always take my mom's side in arguments. You never wash the dishes, or you never do anything nice for me. You hurt my feelings, which ends up putting the other person on the defensive. The simplest way to keep the focus of the conversation on your feelings and needs, as well as build respect and trust in tough conversations, is using I statements. So let's first talk about what is an I statement. So as the name suggests, we're gonna start with I, talking about your experience. A basic template is I feel insert emotion when specific behavior because impact it has on you. So instead of saying things like you don't care about me, you would rather rephrase that as I feel hurt when my messages go unanswered because it makes me wonder if I'm a priority in your life. So I can't stress this enough, but it's incredibly important to keep the focus of these statements on the emotion, not accusation. So use words that describe your feelings, like frustrated, hurt, grateful, happy, and any other word you could find on an emotion wheel like this. So avoid saying things like, I feel like you're ignoring me, because that's still you language. You're still putting the focus on you're ignoring me, not on I feel lonely or ignored. And you're not really talking about how you feel. You can't feel like this person's ignoring you. You can feel ignored when they display a certain behavior. Instead say, I feel lonely when I don't hear back from you. Another important thing to keep in mind is to be specific and concrete. Make sure to stick to one behavior someone exhibits, not a character flaw. So if your partner's arriving late, don't say you're always late. Focus on I feel anxious when you arrive 30 minutes late because I worry about being late myself. It's really important that I statements also don't have to be negative. They can also be about positive things like I'm really happy when you do X to reinforce a certain behavior. It doesn't just have to be focused on conflict. They're a really effective way of communicating your feelings in general, regardless of what they may be. So start in low stakes situations to make it feel more natural to get into the habit of speaking like this. For example, I feel relaxed when we have dinner together because it helps me unwind after work. Or saying something like, I feel really happy and connected to you when we eat together without watching a movie or without being on our phones because we can focus on each other a lot more and there's way less distraction. This really helps build the habit before you get into conflict, which makes it a lot easier to keep that in mind. Because as you know, in conflict, we're not always acting rationally, we're emotional a lot of the time. And sometimes we want to be a bit vindictive, and then starting to build a habit like this becomes very difficult. So start in low stakes situations that are either neutral or even positive. Another important bit is that you can combine I statements with active listening, because after telling the other person how you feel, you should really give them a moment, a little pause, so that they have time to respond properly and let you know their view. And here it's very important to listen to what they say, which sets us up for my next video where I'll talk about active listening. Now, want some secret pro tips? Don't worry, I got lots. Keep it short and don't over-explain. Just saying how you feel and why is enough. You don't have to give them a monologue of 5 minutes. Try to be genuine and match your tone with your feelings. A calm, I feel X beats a sarcastic one any day of the week. And always keep in mind, this is about honesty and sharing your feelings, not about manipulating your partner. Be genuine with your emotions. Now, just as a quick recap, instead of defaulting to blame, try I feel emotion word when specific behavior because why it matters to you. I statements shift the focus of a conversation from attack and blame to understanding and sharing. And the more you practice, the more natural it gets. In the next video, we'll take this one step further with active listening, because to have a proper conversation, it's not just about being able to express yourself, but also about making the other person feel heard and understood and really listening to what they're sharing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in the next one. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below how this helped you or if this helped you. If you have any tips or requests for topics, please let me know down below as well. It really helps and motivates me to keep going. If you haven't done so already, please check out my other videos in this series that introduce how to name your emotions and how to process them a bit before you start speaking. I'll try to link them here, or if I don't figure that out, they're on my channel. Anyway, bye.